Hello everyone. In this video, we shall focus on solving linear equations in one variable. But what are equations? An equation is a mathematical statement that tells us that two quantities are equal. So for example, if we have 2x minus 4 equals 0, this is an equation where the left-hand side is 2 times x minus 4 and the right-hand side is 0. So in solving for any type of equation, our goal is to solve for the exact or particular value of the variable, say in this case it's x, that will satisfy the given equation. So when we say satisfy the given equation, the resulting quantities in both sides of the equation must be the same. So in this case, if x is equal to 2, then 2 times 2 minus 4 is equal to 0. And the left-hand side here is 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So the left-hand side is 0, and the right-hand side is also 0. And this shows us that the equation is satisfied when we use x is equal to 2. So the solution here is x equals 2. So before we discuss how to solve linear equations in one variable, let us enumerate first the different properties of equality. So let us suppose first that A, B, and C are all real numbers. So the first property here is the reflexive property. The reflexive property states that a real number, let's say A, is always equal to itself. So in symbols, it's A equals A. Second is the symmetric property of equality, and this states that if A is equal to B, then it would imply that B is equal to A. So in this case, though, we can interchange the quantities in the left-hand side and in the right-hand side, and still, both quantities are equal. Third, we have the transitive property of equality. And this states that if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, this would imply that A is equal to C. Number 4 is the addition property of equality. And this states that whenever we have A equals B, then adding the same quantity C to both sides of this equation will give us an equality as well. So A plus C is also equal to B plus C. And then the last one among the properties of equality is the multiplication property of equality. So this states that if A is equal to B, then multiplying both sides of the equation by the same quantity, let's say C, then A times C and B times C are also equal. Okay, now, let's move to the solution of linear equations. Now, an equation of the form ax plus b equals 0 is a linear equation in one variable x in standard form. So our goal here is to solve for the value of x that will satisfy the given equation. So another characteristic that describes a linear equation in standard form is that the degree of the equation is 1. So meaning the highest exponent of the variable x here must be 1. So it's a linear equation. Okay, so let's have an example. So let us solve the first problem. Let's say 3x minus 5 equals 5x minus 1. So to solve this equation, we will be transposing some of the terms in the left-hand side and some of the terms in the right-hand side. So in this case, 5x will be transposed to the left side. When we transpose 5x to the left side, its positive sign will become a negative sign. So that gives us 3x minus 5x. And then the negative 5 from the left side will be transposed to the right side. So that gives us negative 1. And then the negative 5 will become plus 5 at the right side. So now combining like terms in both sides of the equation, 3x minus 5x is negative 2x. And then negative 1 plus 5 is positive 4. And then to solve for x, we shall divide both sides by negative 2. When dividing both sides by negative 2, we're actually using the multiplication property of equality because it's the same thing as multiplying both sides of the equation by negative 1 over 2. So in this case, the left side, negative 2 will cancel out, so the left side becomes x, while the right side, we have 4 divided by negative 2, which is negative 2. So in order to check if the solution is correct, then you need to substitute negative 2 to every occurrence of x in the original equation. So I will leave that point to you. Next, let's have another example. Number 2, we have 8 times 3x minus 5 minus 4 times the quantity of 2x plus 3 equals 12. So to solve this equation, we need to distribute first the positive 8 to 3x minus 5 and distribute the negative 4 to 2x plus 3. So here we get 8 times 3x is 24x, 8 times negative 5 is negative 40, and then negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times positive 3 is negative 12. And then we write equals 12 as the right-hand side of the equation. Now, in the left side, we shall combine the like terms. So 24x minus 8x is positive 16x. The negative 40 minus 12 is negative 52. And then we equate it to the right side, which is 12. Now, we shall transpose negative 52 to the other side. So by the way, transposing a term to the other side is like using the addition property of equality. So it's like adding positive 52 to both sides of the equation. So when we transpose negative 52, it will become positive at the right side. So that becomes 16x is equal to 12 plus 52, which will turn out to be 16x is equal to 64. And then to solve for x, we shall divide by 16. Or we shall divide both sides of the equation by 16. So the left side becomes x, while the right side is 64 divided by 16, which is positive 4. So again, I will leave it to you to check if x equals 4 is really or indeed the solution to the equation. And you can do it by substituting 4 to every occurrence of x in the given equation. Next, let's have another example. Number 3. So suppose that we have 3x minus 5 over 15 minus x plus 9 over 20 is equal to 5 minus 3x over 12. So observe that the given equation contains several fractions. So in order to solve this, we should get rid of the denominators by multiplying both sides of the equation by the least common denominator. So we want to know first the least common denominator of 15, 20, and 12. So the least common denominator is 60. It's the lowest number that is divisible by 15, by 20, and by 12. So we shall multiply both sides by 60. Okay, so 60 When multiplied to the first fraction, 60 divided by 15 is 4. So we should write 4. And then this quantity will be multiplied to the numerator, which is 3x minus 5. And then the LCD 60 will be multiplied with the second fraction. So 60 divided by 20 is 3, but there's a negative side here, so it should be minus 3. And then we multiply it to the numerator, which is x plus 9. And then the right side will be multiplied by 60. So 60 divided by 12 is 5. And then we multiply this to 5 minus 3x. And then distributing 4, negative 3, and 5 to the respective terms, we get 12x minus 20 minus 3x minus 27 equals 25 minus 15x. Combining like terms at the left side of the equation will give us 9x. It's because 12x minus 3x is 9x. And negative 20 minus 27 is negative 47. And then we rewrite the right-hand side, which is 25 minus 15x. And then we shall transpose the negative 15x to the other side. So we get 9x plus 15x. And then transpose the negative 47 to the right side. So that gives us 25 plus 47. So 9x plus 15x is 24x, while 25 plus 47 is equal to 72. And then dividing both sides by 24, this will give us x is equal to 72 divided by 24, which is positive 3. So again, to check if this is correct, we shall substitute 3 to every occurrence of x in the original equation, and the left side and the right side must be proven to be equal. Next, let's have another example. So let's consider x plus 1 over x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 1 over 2x plus 1. So again, our equation here contains fractions, so we shall multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD. So it's easy to get the LCD. We just multiply x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. So our LCD here is x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. And we multiply this one by x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. So multiplying the LCD and the left-hand side of the equation will give us the product 2x plus 1 times x plus 1. So this is obtained by canceling out the x minus 1, and then the remaining factors will be multiplied. While in the right-hand side, 2x plus 1 will cancel out, and then the remaining factors, 2x minus 1 and x minus 1, will be multiplied. So observe here that this resulting equation in the second line is obtained by just cross-multiplying our fractions in the equation. So we get x plus 1 multiplied by 2x plus 1, which is the left-hand side here, and then 2x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 1, which is the right-hand side of the resulting equation. So to solve for the value of x, we shall use the FOIL method, or we multiply these binomials in the left side and in the right side. So here we get 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 1 times x is just x. And then 1 times 1 is positive 1. For the right side, 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Now, combining like terms in both sides of the equation, we get 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. And then in the right side, we get 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Now, transposing all those terms with x from the right side going to the left side, that will give us 2x squared plus 3x. And then these terms will have reversed signs, negative 2x squared plus 3x. And then transposing this positive 1 to the other side, we will get 1 minus 1. So combining like terms in the left side, 2x squared minus 2x squared will cancel out. 3x plus 3x is 6x. But 1 minus 1 is 0. So solving for x here, if we divide both sides by 6, 6 will cancel out at the left side. So left side becomes x. And then 0 divided by 6 is equal to 0. However, when we solve for equations containing denominators with variables, then we should check first if the resulting value here will make the denominators 0. So the denominator here is x minus 1. So if you substitute 0 here, 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So we're safe here, that's not 0. And then 2x plus 1, so 2 times 0 plus 1 is 1, which is also not 0. So meaning x equals 0 will never make the denominators here equal to 0. So which means that x equals 0 is the solution to this equation. Right, next. Let's have the fifth example. Let's have 3 over x plus 2 plus 2 over x minus 2 equals 4x minus 4 over x squared minus 4. So again, our equation has fractions having variables in the denominator. So later on, we're gonna check the value of x that we will obtain, whether that value will make the denominators 0. Okay, so first, we need to get the least common denominator. Now, if we factor out x squared minus 4, x squared minus 4 is x plus 2, or the quantity of x plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 2, because this is a difference of 2 squares. So which means we shall multiply both sides of this equation by the LCD, and in this case, so the LCD is x plus 2 times x minus 2. So multiplying both sides, so the LCD when multiplied to 3 times x plus 2 will cancel out. So the numerator 3 should be multiplied to the remaining factor x minus 2. So that gives us 3 times the quantity of x minus 2, and then plus, and then the LCD multiplied to 2 over x minus 2. So the x minus 2 will cancel out. So the numerator 2 should be multiplied to the remaining factor, which is x plus 2. While the right-hand side, when multiplied by the LCD, everything in the denominator and the LCD will cancel out, because x squared minus 4 is the same as x plus 2 times x minus 2. So this will cancel out, this will cancel out. So that gives us 4x minus 4 in the right-hand side. So now we got rid of the denominators. So we shall distribute the positive 3 and positive 2. So this gives us 3x minus 6 plus 2x plus 4 equals 4x minus 4. And then we will combine like terms in or at the left side. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. And then we have 4x minus 4 at the right side. So we shall transpose 4x to the left side. So that gives us 5x minus 4x. And then transposing negative 2 to the right side, we get negative 4. plus 2. So 5x minus 4x, we get x at the left side, and then negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. However, if we check, or if we substitute negative 2 to the denominators, negative 2 will make x plus 2 equal to 0 because negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So that means x equals negative 2 cannot be a solution of this equation. So in this case, we can conclude that there is no solution to this particular equation. Next, for our final example in this video, we have x plus 6 over x minus 2 minus x plus 3 over x minus 10 equals 16 over x squared minus 12x plus 20. So again, just like what we did earlier, so we shall multiply both sides of this equation by the LCD. However, x squared minus 12x plus 20 can be factored out as x minus 2 times x minus 10. So that means the LCD is x minus 2 times x minus 10. Okay, so for the left side, LCD multiplied to the first fraction here, x minus 2 will cancel out. So that implies that x plus 6 will be multiplied to x minus 10. Okay, and then minus, for the second fraction, this means that x minus 10 will cancel out. And x plus 3 will be multiplied to x minus 2. And then for the right side, since the denominator here is the same as x minus 2 times x minus 10, those will just cancel out. So the remaining quantity at the right side is 16. Okay, so now, so for the following products, now we're going to use the FOIL method. So here, let's place them inside parentheses. X times x is x squared. X times negative 10 is negative 10x. 6 times x is plus 6x. And 6 times negative 10 is negative 60. And then minus. So since there's a minus sign here, the product here must be really placed inside parentheses because it's preceded by a negative sign. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. 3 times x is positive 3x. And then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then that's equal to 16. And then for the left side, now we shall combine like terms. So we can remove the parentheses by distributing the negative sign. Okay, so we get x squared minus 10x plus 6x minus 60 minus x squared plus 2x minus 3x plus 6 equals 60. So here, x squared and negative x squared were canceled out. And then negative 10x plus 6x is negative 4x. Negative 4x added to 2x is negative 2x. And then negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x. Now for the constants, negative 60 added by 6 or plus 6 is negative 54. And then this will be equal to 16. So solving for x, we shall transpose negative 4 to the other side. That gives us negative 5x equals 16 plus 54. So that is negative 5x equals 70. And then dividing both sides by negative 5, that will cancel out the negative 5. So the left side becomes x. And then 70 divided by negative 5 is negative 14. So if we check this negative 14, So if you substitute it in our denominators, negative 14 minus 2 is negative 16, so that's not 0. The negative 14 minus 10 is negative 24, it's also not 0. And then since the factors of x squared minus 12x plus 20 are x minus 2 and x minus 10, and substituting negative 14 to these x's will not give us a 0. So definitely x equals negative 14 is our solution to the equation. So this ends our video about solving for linear equations. I hope that you can subscribe into my channel. Thank you very much.